Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Progressives post show here at BC WrestlePod, where we give you anything and everything as it relates to Progress Wrestling. My name is Mikey, of course. I am El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, and tonight I am going to give you a quick romp through Chapter 196 Scorchio. Again, I'm so happy to see that this is the second show underneath the new ownership of Big Damo and Nikki Storm. We got 8 matches to talk about. I'm super excited. I cannot wait. And yeah, this is just going to be a quick romp because overall, I really enjoyed this. But before I get into all of it, you already know the drill. You know where to see us go live every week. BC WrestlePod for our socials, BC WrestlePod shop.fourthwall.com for our merch, and coffee for our little bot to help us pay for pay-per-views and stuff. Alrighty, so here we go. Like I said, I will be covering chapter 196 in Scorchio. And again, this is going to be a good time. I'm happy this is going to be a fun one, and we're going to talk about it. So let's just kick things off, shall we? Because in our opener to Scorchio, we have the matron, the mother herself of Progress, Session Moth Martina, who was lucky enough to find a babysitter for all 562 of her kids. And she was taking, well, first of all, we had a little bit of audio issue and Progress. Love you downs, but we talked about this. We gotta get this on. We gotta get this fixed. But you gotta love the electric ballroom crowd because even without sound, they sang the Session Moth Martinez entrance theme all the way down, which was fantastic. And she would be taking on Miss Nikki Storm, who is returning to the ring here in Progress now that her non compete is up with WWE. And I don't know what it is with the UK. We're gonna talk about another team a little bit later, but y'all be pulling out the '90s boy band pop, the '90s pop boy bands music for this, and I love it for entrance music. It is hilarious, and I love it. But Session Moth Martina will be taking on a debut in progress and returning to the ring now that her non-compete, 90-day no-compete clause is up, and Miss Nikki Storm. This match was a lot of fun. This match was a little bit on the shorter side, which is to be expected because Nikki hasn't really been wrestling for a while, but it was really cool to see her back in the ring. I love her. She is fantastic. Session Moth Martina always makes a really good, antagonist to whoever she is going up against. And this was a really good, fun return to form for Nikki Storm, who of course got the win in this match, but I am so happy that she is back. I love that her and her husband Big Damo are the new owners of Progress, as well as Defy Wrestling here over here on the West Coast in Washington. I'm just really happy to see Nikki Storm, and I feel that the feeling of just seeing me be happy to see Nikki Storm wrestle again after being done with WWE trumps any issues that I had. Again, really the only complaint I have with this match is that it was really short. But other than that, man, it's really fun to see Nikki Storm. Session Moth again makes a really good heel, really fun stuff. Nikki picks up the victory, and I would like to see more of her, please, Progress. Bring her back. Or keep having her matches, I should say. Anyways, moving on to our next match, the second match of the evening, which was just as entertaining, y'all, because this was so much fun too. We have Scott Oberlin versus everybody's favorite bald YouTube personality and wrestler, Mr. Simon Miller. Now, I have talked on previous Progress episodes about Scott Oberman and his presentation, which I really still dig. There's an air of mystery to Scott Oberman's and just craziness. But it's been really cool to see Scott kind of break that facade a little bit, especially because he's been on a constant losing streak. Now, so before the match even started, Simon Miller comes down. He interrupts Scott Oberman. He talks about how, Scott needs to get a life. Scott needs to show some enthusiasm because he doesn't understand why Scott has such a problem with Simon Miller. And so these two begin to fight, which was insane. And this was a really fun match, another good one. Again, Simon to me has been putting in the work, and I love seeing him consistently now on Progress, which makes me super happy. Because I know last year he would pop up here and there, but it seems that they're looking to make Simon Miller a staple in Progress, which I love, and I also love seeing that for Scott Oberman as well. Now, Simon Miller does pick up the victory here, but what makes this even crazier at the very end, Simon Miller grabs a little bit of Scott Oberman's hair, glues it onto his head, and I'm just trying to figure out what in the world is happening. But this was entertaining. I had a good time with this one. This is a good one. Again, I like it when we get different variations of character tropes in wrestling. I love that Scott Oberman is not your traditional like mystical character or like the anti-hero and all this. Simon Miller is just an excited person. Love this bald man, really, really do. But again, really fun stuff for sure. And our third match of the one, and I'm gonna be honest, probably well, the first half of the show, this is probably my favorite match of the first half of Scorchio. We have returning to Progress, Mr. Joe Coffey, taking on Pro Wrestling Noah Star, and who's doing an excursion here in the UK, and Koga. Yo, Koga. This is your coming out party, my dude. Koga has been with the Session Moth family since getting here. We last chapter, at chapter 195, we had Koga go after and challenge his twin brother Gene Money for the Atlas Championship. While Koga did not win that match, it was a really good match and it was really showcased his potential. This was the coming out party for Koga. My goodness, this is not to say that Koga's wrestling before this was not great, but this is where he put everything that he's been learning in the UK on his excursion, and he put it to use. Because my goodness, Koga was on fire, and Joe Coffey is no slouch either for this one. Honestly, this was my favorite match of the first half in terms of wrestling wise. And what makes this even better is that Koga picks up the victory, beating Joe Coffey, and the Session Moth family celebrate in the ring. And I am so proud to see Koga and him learning more and being able to do more in his excursion here in the UK. You gotta love it, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of Koga in Progress as the rest of the year goes on. Now, closing out the first half of Scorchio, we end the first half of the show with our blood debt match between Spike Trevay and Bullet. Now, I had no idea what a blood debt match is, so I learned this as I was watching it. So apparently, this is how a blood debt match works. Each wrestler has a tiny little capsule that they have on their personage, and what they need to do in order to win the blood debt match is they have to make their opponent bleed, collect some of the blood into that little capsule that they are given, give it to the ref to pay the debt, and then they are allowed to pin or submit for the win. But if they do not give that capsule of blood to the ref, then they cannot win the match until they do so. And this went is about exactly as I thought it would be. Bullet was the aggressor, and he was in charge for the first half of this match, trouncing Spike Trevay, throwing him everywhere, like decimating him. He made him bleed, and so Bullet was able to collect the blood first and give it to the ref. And then Spike Trevay would counter in the second half and get his blood too. And then it was just a straight war of attrition. Chairs, diving into the crowd, ring posts, stairs, jumping off stages. This had everything. And yeah, this match was a lot of fun. I was a little surprised to see it clock under like 13 minutes at least, but it was still a pretty good one. Again, timing is the only thing I really have a big complaint about. But my goodness, for a blood debt match, for the first of its kind, according to commentary, that this is the first match of its kind in Progress, I really did enjoy it. You know, I like when wrestling tries new things. Spike Gervais would end up being the victor in this match, and I think this is it. I think we're done with the Spike Gervais and Bullet feud for now. Spike Gervais can put Bullet in the background from now because I'm going to talk about Spike when we get to our main event because I think we might be setting him up to be our new challenger for our Progress Men's Champion. Also, sidebar. I like Spike Gervais' interest theme. Rory is one of my favorite singers in the EDM scene, and her song for Spike Gervais' entrance, which the song is called "In the Bible." Really good stuff. I actually really enjoy it. But yeah, this was a really fun match to end the first half. Again, blood debt match, first of its kind in progress. Um, yeah, again, I like when wrestling tries new things, and I'm excited to see where the Vultures Mike Gervais goes from here. We get a little bit of a break, and when we come back, we open up the second half with this match. And honestly, this is a really good match, y'all. I highly recommend you go see this tag team match. So we have the Velocities taking on CPF. These two teams are very new to me. I've heard of the Velocities by name, but I've never heard of CPF. And once again, we had 90s boy band music entrances. Great, loved it immediately. 10 out of 10 for me. But this match was when that bell rang, it was just 120 miles per hour. This is why I love Progress, is because not only do we get to spotlight new talent, but tag team wrestling is well and alive here in Progress. These two went at it, and my gosh, this was amazing. CPF would win over the Velocities. But again, I love it that Progress, what they're doing is showcasing new talent or newer talent, young talent, which is really fun. I want to see these two come back. I want to see them fight again. I wanted to see the tag team action more here in Progress. So, really good stuff. I love them dearly. Good, good stuff with this opening match of the second half. Okay, so this match was for, let's talk about this because the match itself was a lot of fun for what we got. So, this is for the Progress Atlas champion, and this is, of course, the dirty dog himself, Gene Money, taking on Tommy Tanner. Tommy has been on the Progress shows for the last couple of chapters, and I'm really digging Tommy. I said this last time. And of course, Gene Money, fantastic stuff. The match was really good, and I was having a blast with it. But then, let me tell y'all, from NXT UK to Rev Pro, Shaw Samuels makes his return to Progress and causes this match to go to a no contest, beats up Session Moth, beats up Gene Money, beats up Tommy Tanner, and lets it be known that he's coming for the Atlas Championship, y'all. I love me some Shaw Samuels. I think he is great, and I am looking forward to seeing what he does here in Progress. This is going to be fun. I'm really excited. This is good stuff. And because this ended up being a no contest, and with Shaw Samuels getting involved, at chapter 197, Wrestling Over Everything next month, we're going to have a fatal four-way for this Atlas Championship. Gene Money will be defending the title against Tommy Tanner, Shaw Samuels, and MLW wrestler Dijak. So it should be really interesting. But yeah, the match itself before the Shaw Samuels run-in was fun, fantastic, good moments, funny moments, good wrestling. But I'm really excited to see Shaw back in Progress, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, after this match, I thought, let me tell you, this was my match of the night, and this was really hard because the next match was also in contention too. But this one definitely was my match of the night for the Progress Women's World Champion, Alexis Falcon, taking on the 2026 Women's Super Strong Style 16 tournament winner in Rio. These two know each other very well. They have danced before many occasions in Progress and across the UK scene. Oh my God. There are not enough words in the English dictionary to describe how amazing this match was. Rio is just such a badass, man. And Alexis Falcons knows how to play that heel role very well. And I said this when when me and Benny were covering the Eve 150 show. Rio is going to be the next big thing, and I think she's going to get signed somewhere big in the next year or two. She's just so damn good. But this was another war of attrition. These girls went back and forth. It took everything she had, but Rio was able to put Alexis down, and Rio is your new Progress Women's World Champion, which much deserved. Rio, you get one of these girls. Yes. So, again, this is my favorite match. Y'all need to go watch this. Fantastic stuff. But not But even though the next match was not my match of the night, it came damn close because of the main event of Chapter 196 Scorchio. We have the Men's Progress Championship, Cara Noir defending the title against the Men's Super Strong Style 16, 20, 26 winner, and Charles Crowley. Our favorite twat is back, y'all, and he did not come to play. This is what happens when you let two theater kids have a wrestling match. We had some funny moments, we had some theatrics, but Charles Crowley and Cara Noir are so good, y'all. This was such a fun match. But unlike our women's match, Charles Crowley would not be able to win. And that is because Cara Noir would just crush Crowley's soul by destroying his monkey that he brings out with the sledgehammer, allowing him to take a distracted and grief-stricken Charles Crowley for the win. Cara Noir is still your Progress Men's Champion. After the match, though, Cara Noir was going to continue to beat up Charles Crowley until Spike Treve came in for the save. And so it seems we might be setting up Cara Noir versus Spike Treve and their feud round 2. But the roles are now reversed. Cara Noir is the heel, and Spike Treve might be the baby face, which should be very interesting. Yeah, this match was so much fun. Again, it had good wrestling, theatrics, and funny moments, and really fun storytelling. And I'm excited to see where we go from here next. But that takes us to the end. That has been my quick review of chapter 196, Scorchio. Scorchio is another fun show. I don't think there was too much that moved the needle per se, but man, I had a blast with this, and I hope y'all did too. Now, it's going to be a busy week for the British wrestling scene, but the next time that we'll be back with another Progress show, we'll be back in September, the beginning of September, to talk about chapter 197 for Progress, Wrestling Over Everything. But that's a part of All In weekend with, Eve 153, Mystery Wrestling. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good time. But we still got a lot of fun things coming up for the remainder of the week. Tomorrow night, I will be here once again, rocking it solo for TNA. And Saturday and Sunday, Kilt and I, as well as some of our podcasting friends across the internet, will be doing a live watch along for WWE SummerSlam for both nights. So you get a double dose of fun stuff. But that's going to be it for me here. Thank you so much for tuning in. From all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will catch you tomorrow night for TNA, but until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.